Have you ever said, "How many times do I have to tell you to clean your room? Are you done yet? What's taking you so long? Haven't I told you already to clean up those Legos? How come they are still all over the floor?" I have to tell these kids 100 times before they actually do it. Why, Mama, are you telling them 100 times? Tell them just once. Let's talk about how. Hey there, Mama. I'm Kimberly, and this is the Renewed Mama podcast, where you can take some time for yourself, slow down, breathe, and check in so that you think right, speak right, and respond right. That way you can keep going instead of growing weary. You can find joy even in the crazy and keep living abundantly. It's time to renew. You're tired of telling your children 100 times to do something before they actually do it. Mama, you're already doing things by the hundreds. 100 diaper changes, 100 loads of laundry, 100 snacks for your kids who are always hungry. You are here to renew your parenting approach. One thing you don't need to be doing 100 times is repeating your directions. So grab a pen and paper and take notes, because here's how you can say it just once. Stop what you are doing, look them in the eyes, smile, say their name, and give them one direction. Say it with honor, edification, full belief that they will do it right away with a good attitude. It sounds like, "Child," say the child's name, "would you please be the first one to brush your teeth?" That's speaking to the child who likes to be first. Say your child's name, "I appreciate your help with bedtime by getting dressed in your PJs now." That's speaking to the child who loves to be a helper. Say your child's name, "Will you take a moment to pick up all the Legos off the floor? Thank you for doing it with focus. Can you get it done before I'm done with the dishes? Go!" That's speaking to the child who loves a challenge. Use your Speak Life badges to award them with a sticker that says, "I followed directions. I used time wisely. I stayed faithful to the task. I obey right away. I am diligent. I am faithful. I am a helper. I obey with joy." Give them a Speak Life badge prior to them beginning the work to remind them that they can stay focused. They can use their energy to do amazing work. Say something like this: "We've got a big task of raking the leaves. Are your muscles ready? Mine are. How about your focus? Can you use your great focus to stay on task and to get the job done so that we can make the biggest pile of leaves to jump in?" Even when you feel tired and need to take a quick break, that's okay, as long as we get back to it. We can do this together. And then give them an "I am helper" badge. Do you want your words of encouragement and praise to have a lasting impact on your children? Then give them Speak Life Badges sticker awards. Here's what Erica had to say about Speak Life Badges. "Today I challenged Clayton to take a baby step in bravery at the splash pad. I know these little word seeds of encouragement will grow and help him when he needs bravery in the future. At bedtime, I removed the sticker and placed it beside the mirror. Just glancing at it really encouraged my heart too. Words seem so small, but are so powerful and can completely change the way we view ourselves." Shop Speak Life Badges today at speaklifebadges.com. Take the extra minute to acknowledge that they have heard your directions. Ask them to repeat what is expected of them to make sure that they understand what is being asked of them. Tell me, what are you going to do to help Mommy? Tell me again, what are you going to do with care so that it doesn't get broken? Would you tell me again what you'll do before your friends are here? Also teach them to respond to your directions with a yes, Mom, I'll be glad to, or a yes, Dad, I'll be glad to. You confirm that they heard you because you stopped what you were doing, you said their name, you looked them in the eyes, you smiled, and you gave them one direction. You confirm that they know what is expected of them, and now they respond with, yes, Mom, I'll be glad to. It's also really hard to say, yes, Mom, I'll be glad to, with a grumpy, whining, bad attitude, right? And if they do say, oh, Mom, do I have to? Then you will say, would you like to try that again, this time saying, yes, Mom, I'll be glad to, with a good attitude. This is all part of the teaching or the guiding them in the way that they should walk or behave. Now, you may need to follow up after a minute or two to make sure that they are following through and doing the work. It's like training a new employee. You check back in to ask if they have any questions or need any help. Don't wait too long, or you may feel frustrated and want to shout, I told you 10 minutes ago to put away the Legos. Why is it not done yet? What if you come back and they haven't done what you asked of them? They got distracted playing. Perhaps they didn't hear you because you shouted the directions as you walked by. Did they willfully not do it because they didn't want to? Maybe they couldn't do it on their own, or they didn't understand what was being asked of them, or they forgot what you told them to do. Maybe they didn't do it because they wanted your attention. It's too hard. Can you help me, Mommy? Ask them clarifying questions so that you understand why they didn't do what you asked of them. And if you turn around and the task isn't done yet, follow through gently but firmly with the appropriate consequences. That might be taking away a privilege such as iPad time, early bedtime, or an additional chore. Choose whatever is right for your family and what will motivate your child. Remember that there's no need to shout to get your children to do what you want them to do. When you shout, you go from parent to peer. You don't have to raise your voice to get them moving. Just a simple, matter-of-fact tone that says, you did not mow the lawn this week. I hired the neighbor boy to do it. You owe me what I paid him to get the job done. There will be no karate until you do your schoolwork with excellence, and you will pay me the cost of your missed session. I asked you to do your morning chores. There will be no afternoon TV until your chores are done each morning without being asked. Chore charts, schedules, and to-do lists can be a helpful tool for your children to know what is expected of them without you reminding or nagging. Remember that your children need your guidance, your training, your patience, and repeated encouragement. That's my nice way of saying reminders. Be consistent. I know it feels exhausting, but your consistency will pay off. If you are faithful now to lovingly remind them and to speak belief that they do listen the first time, as they grow and mature, it will become their habit. Speak it out loud over them, even when you don't see it yet. You obey right away. I appreciate it when you follow directions the first time I ask. I can count on you to do it right away. Do you know how much of a blessing that is? It lightens my load so much. What a wonderful helper you are. I'm so grateful for your help and your company. Look how quickly we got it done with your help. Now, you might be thinking, this all sounds really nice, Kimberly, but for my child, following directions, it's still a challenge. I've already tried a lot of the things you're suggesting. Try giving them a Speak Life badge that says, I follow directions. The first thing in the morning, say to your child, using their name, I look forward to all that our day has in store for us. Like, we are going to have some fun today. As we go about our day, when I ask you to do something, I believe in you to follow my directions right away. When I ask you to brush your teeth after breakfast, what will you do right away? When I ask you to clean up your toys, what will you do the first time I ask? May I give you this sticker that says, I follow directions because you listen right away and do it. Let's say it's dinner time and they've worn their badge all day. They've been following directions. Praise them at the table to their daddy and siblings. Before they go to bed, they can put their Speak Life badge in the I Am Loved journal on the badge journal pages. Or you can put it on the badge journal page available to download for free. The link is in the show notes. Tell them, thank you for listening right away today. Share how it was a blessing to you. And ask them, did they have a lot more fun today when they followed directions right away? When they wake up the next morning, say, you were faithful yesterday to listen the first time I asked you to do something. You are trustworthy. I can count on you. Will you listen the first time I ask today? Let's have a great day. Mama, those are powerful words. That's speaking life and belief over your children. Are these suggestions helping you? Mama, listening right away the first time you ask is also for their safety. If you shouted, watch out, because the ball was coming their way, or you're riding bikes and they didn't see a car backing out of the driveway, they've got to listen the first time you shout, right? Also, listening right away is valuable in the workplace. Say they're in a meeting and a boss gives them directions for a project, specific details, deadlines, desired outcomes, and they go back to their desk, sit down to work, and say, what did the boss want me to do in that project? When did he want me to get it done? It's not going to go over well if they have to go back to the boss and ask him to say it all over again because they weren't listening. That's not being faithful and trustworthy. So they have the opportunity to learn now to listen the first time to yours, to their teachers, to their coaches, to grandma and grandpa's directions, and to do it right away. That's teaching them to be faithful in the little things now so that they can be trusted with more as they grow up. Listening right away also helps them to be sensitive to the needs around them. If they hear of or they see a need, they'll be more likely to jump to help. Is there anything I can do to help? How can I help you, Grandma? If God puts it on their heart to help someone, I want my children to listen and to act right away. Let's take all of this insight and turn it into action. How will you stop telling your children 100 times to do something? Stop what you're doing, look them in the eyes, smile, say their name, and give them one direction. Will you ask them to repeat your directions to get confirmation that they understand what's being asked of them? And will you check back to make sure that they are keeping their focus and getting the job done? Let me know what one thing you will do or what you already do to help your children to listen the first time you ask. Share in the comments below. I bless you, Mama. All that you put your hands to do, including helping your children to listen right away the first time you ask, even if it takes extra training at first, will pay off. And you will be so proud of your children as they grow into young men and women who listen first and follow through and do it, even going the extra mile to do it even better than you asked. I speak that out over your children, Mama. God bless you. Real quick, Before you go, if this podcast has blessed you in some way, the number one way you can thank me is to leave a written review for the show over on Apple Podcasts. It encourages me so much to hear from you and to know that this show is helping you to stay renewed. The second thing you can do for me is to take a screenshot of this episode and share it in your Instagram stories and tag me at Speak Life Badges. Or DM another mama you know who needs to hear this truth so that they can be encouraged and renewed too. Lots of love. Bye.